So Disney Dreamlight Valley has been out for about a week or two now, and a lot of people have bought it and played it and have enjoyed it. But if you're still on the fence, this video will help you out to see if this is the right game for you, and if you do buy it, here are some tips to help you out in the very beginning of the game, or throughout the game. I've played a good decent chunk of the game so far, so I do have some tips in mind to go over for you, and some mistakes I've made to prevent you from making as well. So here's tips and tricks in the very beginning of Disney Dreamlight. So our first tip, number 1, whenever you do any sort of task, you want a friend with you. Do not do anything in this game without a friend doing something with you. So earn friend points faster, and then you will be able to unlock more quests. Tip number 2. So there are 5 different roles that you can assign friends to in this game: gardening, fishing, foraging, mining, and digging. The roles I would avoid to give to your friends, at least in the very beginning, is foraging. Foraging is the most difficult friendship task, in my opinion, out of any of them, because there is only a certain finite amount of things you can forage. You kind of lock yourself off from a lot of friendships if you choose a lot of friends to have foraging. It's going to be a lot harder to gain friendship points that way. The best ones I would say in the very beginning to give out is gardening for sure, because that's the best way you're going to earn money in this game, is gardening. I'll talk about that later in the video, but you definitely want gardening as one of your early skills, either to give to Mickey. That's what I personally did, is gave gardening to Mickey. You're going to need mining early on as well, so I would also give mining to someone early on. Digging is one that you would think wouldn't be as useful, but you can easily cheese digging. All you need to do is just dig the same spot and then undig it and then keep digging it. But it's very easy to gain. But I would heavily recommend avoiding foraging for multiple friends. I would say give it to maybe 1 or 2 max. Let's talk about mining really quick. So you're going to be tempted to sell all of these gems in the very beginning because they give you lots of money. Avoid doing that. That is not the easiest way to get money. Avoid selling your gems at all costs. I honestly just stack them because so many missions and quests are going to require mining. I just keep a chest in town with all of my gemstones because they are going to be needed eventually. There are several quests that require gemstones, and a variety of different gemstones, and they don't replenish as often as, let's say, fish or fruit or any type of foraging thing. So my advice, just stay away from selling the gem. Just go fishing. It's going to take a little bit longer to gain money that way, or plant a garden. However, because you're not going to have to constantly go mining, hoping and hoping that you get the right gemstones. So I would say avoid selling your gemstones. Just keep them and use them for the quests so you're not waiting around to complete a quest. Because there's so many times that it's happened to me where I've had to wait and wait and wait for these gemstones to replenish just for it to be the last item I need for a quest. Don't really bother with upgrading your house. Instead, just make a bunch of chests. They're way more worth it than upgrading your house. And it's way cheaper to just make chests all around. I know it's not going to look as pretty, but it's way cheaper to just have a bunch of chests around instead of upgrading your house. I have a level 1 upgrade to my house, and eventually it's going to cost more and more. 20,000 for the next upgrade for my house, just for a tiny bit of storage and then just a little bit more room in the house. And that money is going to stack up. I would say save up your money to upgrade stores, upgrade stalls. I would say put your money into the other friends' houses before dumping it into your house, because you'll get more quests with more friends and more things to do, and you won't be sitting around just waiting. The chest can be made out of simple things around, just some softwood and some rocks. It's not hard to make them. Like I said, it won't be as pretty, but it's way more efficient to have these chests around than to upgrade your house. Another tip is honestly experiment with different ingredients when you're cooking. You're not always gonna find recipes in the ground that you'll need. Like there's one mission with Mickey in the very beginning where he asks you for certain foods, but he won't give you the recipes on how to make them. So just start experimenting with different food and you'll just automatically unlock the recipe. There's no harm in just experimenting with different foods because you can always access more ingredients or buy more ingredients. So if you just experiment with different foods, you will unlock a new recipe. You don't need to know the recipe to cook the food. Literally, if you just start making things, you'll figure out new recipes. They might not always be the highest quality recipes that you'll figure out on your first try, but you'll unlock some new foods, and that's another good way to make some money in this game, is to sell food. And food is a lot of friends' gifts, and that's an easy way to gain friendship. So just experiment with the food that you have and make some new recipes. Another tip, play this game throughout the day, because there's going to be some times when someone's asleep and you cannot access their quest. So if you only play at one certain time in the day, this game would not be for you, because you're going to lock yourself off from a bunch of different quests and a bunch of different friends. For example, usually my stream time is when Remy is asleep. So I play the game throughout different periods of the day, so I'm not missing out on certain quests and certain friendship, because it gets really annoying when you can only play it at, let's say, 6 p.m., but Remy is asleep, so you cannot access him when he is. If you're running out of energy, one thing that you might not know in the beginning is just go to your house and you'll replenish your energy. It's way easier to just travel around and go directly to your house and then come out and then travel back around where you're supposed to go, because there is fast travel in this game. At every well there is fast travel, so you don't need to waste food. You can just go to your house, stock up energy, and go back to what you were doing. This game is pretty big once you start unlocking other areas, so utilize the fast travel and go back to your house to replenish your energy. But if you do want extra energy, you can make a meal and eat it there, and you will garner extra energy. That yellow bar at the top is some extra energy. So if you want to really replenish your energy before you're about to go do a lot of different quests, you can make a meal right after you visit your house and completely stock up on some energy to sleep. I hope this video was helpful to those of you just starting out, or if you've already sunk some time into the game, maybe this was some new information for you. This is my first video of this type of style. If you'd like to see me do other games, let me know in the comments. If you did like this video, give it a big thumbs up. If you didn't like it, feel free to give me some criticism in the comments. And if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you for the next video.